Welcome to a new season of Judge for Yourself. Independent and free media plays a crucial role in any constitutional democracy. A free flow of information ensures that citizens are informed. Public representatives are held to account. At the same time, journalists have a huge responsibility to the public. Their reporting has to be factual, to be balanced, has to be high quality. Very recently, the Constitutional Court handed down a judgment in the so-called SMS case. You may recall that's the case dealing with when the DA sent out an SMS before the 2014 election about Mkandla. And the Constitutional Court's majority said that not only is freedom of speech important, but if the majority suppress views, you may never know that those views are wrong. They may never be proved to be wrong. And so therefore speech is a precious thing. And the conveyor of much of that really is, as a result of the media, both I accept the printed media and the electronic media. But this is an important issue. What's the role here? What are the role of journalists? Now, if you'd like to join this debate on Twitter, please use the hashtag JFYJournos. To discuss this topic, we are joined by Ferial, Haffajee, the editor of the City Press, Moshoeshoe Monare, the South African National Editors Forum Council member and the deputy editor of the Mail and Guardian. In Cape Town, we're joined by Marrianne Thamm, as an author and a columnist for the Daily Maverick. Perhaps let me start with you, Marrianne, because my understanding was that you had broken a story with regard to senior members of the independent newspapers who were found at the ANC conference. And there was a debate about this as to what the role of journalists. Now, what's wrong with them being there?
Well, look, I come from a background where you couldn't really be objective about apartheid in the past. It was quite, certain journalists or those of us who were reporting at that point, knew that there was no reason to be objective about it. But we had editors and we had people who, in a sense, supported inter-parliamentary politics of the time, Helen Suzman, and we had journalists on the outside of that who were supporting the UDF and the struggle and all sorts of things. And that happened in the past. And whenever the ANC flag was taken out at one of the mass funerals in the old days, it used to inspire in those of us who supported it or, the struggle itself or reported on it, an immense sense of pride, and it was a kind of a lodestar. But we're in a different country, we're in a different place. And the ANC is in government, and I was quite startled to see on Facebook a photograph of Karima and Vukani attending the ANC rally, wearing these ANC colours. And I think it's fine as people if they support the ANC, perhaps even as journalists. But I thought it was an ill-judged moment to sort of put it out on Facebook when you are in those senior positions in an independent media in democratic South Africa where the ANC is the majority party in government.
All right. Well, let me just say before I ask Ferial to give her view on it and get everybody's view, may I just say this, that we did invite Karima Brown onto this program, and my understanding was until an hour before the program she was going to come on. And then we were informed, my producer was informed, that she's not available. I regret that. I regret that she's not able to speak, but that's not our fault. She, in fact, has exercised her right not to speak. That's her problem, not mine. Let me ask you this. What's so terrible about a journalist saying, well, I'm a member of the ANC? You're not judges.
This is the question I wanted to ask you.
Oh, you did?
Can judges be members of political parties?
No, we had to resign. Certainly, those of us who were, myself, resigned before we became judges. Can't be a member of a political party.
Then I would argue that your fourth estate is similar. If
Why?
we take ourselves seriously, if we see ourselves as an institution in whom society has given a privileged position, then I think we need to be absolutely trustworthy and we have to be seen to be independent, as hard a thing as it is. So I'm not saying we're as august as judges, not at all, but I do think
I'm not suggesting that you aren't.
A similar position.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do agree. Look, to me, it's about also, I will be simplistic to say, for example, if you are going to declare that you are a member of the ANC, how do you expect the DA to treat you if you're going to go to their conferences? And also, if you are in a...
Sorry to interrupt you. Can I just ask you this? But none of us are naive, for goodness sake. I mean, let me say, I read your columns. Then I'd say, well, I can see he's lying.
That's a different thing. That's like I said.
But then aren't these people who
No,
go
no,
there
no.
being honest?
Like I said to Karima and Vukane, to say, look, your philosophical and ideological, background and views. Even judges. I mean, when I read some of your judges, I can see some values. But
yes,
that's a different thing. A party membership, you are really kind of giving yourself up to say, I align myself with the discipline of a particular party. Actually, Gwedemandashi can really say what you're writing is not right, because in terms of party discipline, that's how you should behave.
But can I just probe you on it? Assuming I am a member of a party, and I'm honest, right? I mean, I don't know whether journalists are or aren't. I mean, you guys will know that better. You know your own rooms, your editorial rooms. But assuming that they aren't. But somebody comes along and says, well, I am a member of the ANC. And quite honestly, that doesn't preclude me from being objective.
No, but what I'm saying
and
is
I'll tell you this,
yeah,
that if the ANC does something wrong, I'm going to write about that as a good journalist.
No, but this, it's the same thing. But to me, it's the sense of professionalism, because there's this power of symbols. I'll give you an example. Deputy Chief Justice was a Deputy President of the Pan-Africanist Congress, and everybody respects him as a jurist. But if tomorrow he can decide that he wear a PAC T-shirt, I'm sure surely you will be calling him.
Well, he couldn't do that into court. I accept that. And I suppose if he was doing that in his garden whilst he was gardening, people may raise questions as well. Marrianne, do you agree with that? Do you think that you people are like judges here? You shouldn't be members of political parties.
Well, I think all of us come as journalists. We come with our own political leanings. We have thoughts. We have our cultural backgrounds. We're immersed in various different things that inform how we think and view and see the world. But part of the profession is to try and be as balanced as possible. And I think by declaring openly or embedding yourself, and I'm not saying that Karima and Vukani have done that. I'm just sort of what I did in my column. Was not attack them personally. I questioned their judgment in posting the photograph. As professionals, we come with our own thoughts and leanings around things, but it's our job to try and explore and interrogate and provide nuance and balance. I mean, the only thing I'd wear around politicians really is a hazmat suit.
Let me put this to you. Newspapers, not just in this country but elsewhere, but certainly in this country, before elections, they have editorials in which they say, we urge you to vote for the following party. What on earth are they doing then? I'm not saying all do, but certainly...
But it's a different thing.
Why is it a different thing, Ferial? I mean, I think Peter Bruce did year did it controversially for the UDM, if I recall correctly.
And he said, don't vote for the ANC.
You said for the ANC.
No, don't vote for the ANC. We
don't
said
vote
dilute
for
the ANC's power.
Right.
But look at the editorial comment as a commentary about a political situation, about anything. It doesn't necessarily mean that newspaper is going to be unprofessional and it will start really paying its dues to the political party. But because go into a political rally and say, I want to be seen wearing the regalia of a political party, but what do you expect your own junior members in the
sorry, can I just say this then? The public aren't fools. So reading that, say, well, obviously, I know what you're going to say. I can't take you seriously.
But the entire line, and if I can channel...
Okay, we can come to that,
But if I can channel Karima and Vukani for a moment, if I did, because I really wish they were here.
Yes, of course, so do I.
Is they say, okay, none of you are objective and neutral. Those terms went out with the 20th century. But surely our constitution... means that we have to value multipartyism, and surely we have to value being non-partisan and being seen to be independent.
All right. I'm going to give you all a chance. I have to take a break, and we'll be back in a moment.